But we'll focus on silver first. Silver is looking very, very good. We're fast approaching that historic 50 area. I say hold on to your silver for dear life. I think silver is going to shock the world. Not that gold isn't going to shock the world either. And am I saying you need to sell your gold to buy silver? No, I do both. I try to accumulate as much gold and silver as I can. I still think, silver is the money of the people. Gold is more for the elites, but it's a good thing to have too, I would say.
Gold and silver are about to undergo a historic turning point that goes well beyond typical market cycles, according to seasoned market analyst Mario Innecco. He clarifies that what we are seeing now is the outcome of profound and lasting changes within the global financial system rather than a straightforward speculative boom. Confidence in paper-based assets is gradually being destroyed by the unrelenting devaluation of fiat currencies and the skyrocketing increase in government debt. According to Innecco, this shift in faith is fueling a strong move toward tangible assets, with gold and silver in the vanguard of this shift. He contends that the resurgence of gold signifies more than merely investor fervor. Rather, it signifies the restoration of monetary reality in a society predicated on financial delusion. The credibility of the fiat system continues to erode as central banks manipulate interest rates and manufacture money in an effort to keep fragile economies afloat. Gold, which cannot be produced in a vacuum, is once again becoming the gold standard for stability and confidence. If you want more content on precious metals investing, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell.
But we'll focus on silver first. Silver is looking very, very good. We're fast approaching that historic 50 area. Even though back in 1980, I don't think we reached 50, but it was very close to reaching 50. And same thing goes for 2011. Most people that follow silver closely, they expect for silver to go a lot higher, that it needs to break 50. So yesterday, of course, gold broke 4,000, and I spoke about it, that it tested it first early in the morning, London time, just a few seconds, came back down to like 39.95, and then it just went up like a rocket and stayed up above 4,000 all day. Silver, even though it outperformed gold yesterday, we're still below or above the 80 level in the gold-silver ratio, and also below 1.125%, which is 80 in reverse in the silver to gold ratio. So I think that ratio level there will be broken, either 80 or 1.125% once we break 50. And once we break 50, and it could be today, it's going to be something quite incredible to see. It's really interesting to be alive, in my opinion, because silver has been suppressed for 45 years, and I've spoken about the Hunt brothers, and most people, when they think about the Hunt brothers, they think that they try to corner the silver market, and to some extent they did towards the end of their operations in the silver market. But if you read the history, like I have, the Hunt brothers, they had an oil fortune. I think it was related to Libya, actually, and their father made they were probably one of the richest families at the time. And in the early 70s, with the OPEC crisis and with inflation going up, their revenues went through the roof, revenues in terms of fiat dollar. And, fiat dollar after August 1971. And I think the Hunt brothers, the Hunt family, knew about inflation really well. They weren't silly. and but they couldn't really buy physical gold because it was illegal for Americans. Yes, some people got away with it on a small scale by sovereigns, but they needed to buy tons of gold to protect their earnings in fiat dollars. So they resorted to going for silver because silver wasn't illegal. And that's how it started back in the early 70s. And they used COMEX, but they also bought silver directly from other countries and shipped it by plane to the United States. So they had huge reserves of silver. But by 1979, early 1980, they actually had gotten a lot of people involved in the silver market. There's stories about even the Shah of Iran being one of these people, some other Middle Eastern sheikhs, even John Connolly. There's a rumor that former governor of Texas, of course, who was in JFK's limo when JFK was shot, rumors that he was involved with the Hunt brothers because they wanted Texas to secede from the Union. And that is not outlandish because the U.S. economy was in really bad shape in the late 70s, and Texas had a lot of wealth. And if you didn't know, Texas is the only state out of the 50 states that was admitted into the Union through an international treaty. I think it's the Treaty of Hidalgo. And there's an automatic, almost automatic renewal of that treaty every year, I think on the 1st of January. And I think they're looking not to renew the treaty in 1980 or maybe 81. And they're looking to use silver as the currency to back a Mexican dollar, sorry, not Mexican, but a Texan dollar or whatever they were going to call it.
However, Mario also highlights that the macro environment of today is much more acute, with increased debt, currency devaluation, and uncertainty in the global economy. This suggests that the final breakout may be significantly more significant and global in scope. In his next strategy, gold and silver will once again play a key role in a new monetary system. Silver could see tremendous gains once industrial shortages and fresh monetary demand clash, while gold could reach its former highs as trust in fiat currencies continues to decline. Under these circumstances, precious metals would cease to be viewed as speculative hedges and instead serve as vital instruments for maintaining value. According to innecco, a new era in which physical assets reclaim their proper position at the center of the financial system may be upon us as the world deals with inflation, debt problems, and waning confidence in central banks. Show some love by hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel, and turning on notifications. Now, let's get back and hear his following words.
I say hold on to your silver for dear life. I think silver is going to shock the world. Not that gold isn't going to shock the world either. And am I saying you need to sell your gold to buy silver? No, I do both. I try to accumulate as much gold and silver as I can. I still think, silver is the money of the people. Gold is more for the elites, but it's a good thing to have too, I would say. And there's speculation. Some people say that ratio could go to 1-to-1, but I think let's go one step at a time. I think the next key level in terms of the ratio will be like 30. So let's say if gold is at $5,000 and we have a 30-to-1 ratio, that will mean $150 silver, which is not really looking at the ratio like that, it's not really outlandish. And if we go to 15-to-1, that's $300 silver. And of course, gold in my opinion is going to go a lot higher. And talking about gold, let's talk about de-dollarization now, because back in I've got the exact date here, July 15th, 2021, I published a video about Brazil's gold reserves soaring by 62% in June. Yes, they bought a lot of gold in 2021, and they were early in the game of adding gold reserves. If you remember well, if you've been following gold for the last few years, the central banks, especially BRICS-related central banks or non-Western central banks, bought the most gold ever in 2022, net gold, since the start of the Bretton Woods. They did the same in 23, 24 as well. And this year, they're still buying quite a bit too. And that is all about de-dollarization. But Brazil, for some reason, they stopped buying after 2021, which was strange. And but now news has come out from Christian Gopal, who I follow on X. And who's Christian Gopal? Well, he's the senior analyst at the World Gold Council and reports a lot of interesting data and information about gold. So yesterday he reported on X. It says latest data from the IMF shows that the Central Bank of Brazil increased its gold reserves by almost 16 tons in September. Its first addition of gold since July 2021, right? Which I talked about 4 years ago. Its gold holdings now total 145 tons, which isn't that much, but I think this was in September. Maybe Brazil is going to keep buying a bit more. It seems like the Brazilian Central Bank or whoever's in charge of buying gold in Brazil, be it the Treasury or the Ministry of Finance or the Central Bank, they like to go all in. Like they don't do dollar cost averaging like the Chinese have been doing, 2 tons a month. So I find that quite interesting. The reason why I think Brazil doesn't have more of a bigger, let's say, gold reserves, maybe is because they're running surpluses, and gold is going to be used as a payment settlement mechanism for the BRICS countries in their trading. I think, of course, the Chinese yuan will be the major currency being used there because it's normal when the biggest economy in the bloc is China. A lot of the stuff is going to be done in yuan. But what gold will be used as is a form of settlement at the end of accounting periods for surpluses and deficits, current account surpluses and deficits.
According to Mario Innecco, gold is typically preferred by elites, whilst silver remains the money of the people. Considering the gold to silver ratio, he recommends a methodical approach. According to him, the next important ratio level is 30-1, which means that if gold hits $5,000, silver might hit $150, which is a fair amount given the historical background. Should the ratio shift to 15-1, silver might hit $300. He thinks that gold itself is set to rise much higher in the meanwhile. Innecco also talks on the amassing of gold around the world, especially by central banks that are not Western. According to Innecco, a large portion of this purchasing by nations like China and Brazil is a result of their efforts to develop financial sovereignty and lessen their need on the US currency. In addition to other important currencies like the yuan, gold may be used to settle surpluses and deficits between nations in the BRICS trading system. Innecco concludes by saying that although a formal gold standard among the BRICS nations is still a ways off, the trend is obvious. These countries are deliberately moving away from a system that is dominated by the dollar. With gold acting as a store of value and a means of achieving global financial independence, this represents a larger geopolitical and monetary realignment. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications